mic. And 5, 4, 3.
Welcome, everyone, and pull up a seat at the table. It's Lunchtime in Rome. Tonight's episode 207, entitled Emotional Needs That Clash. Why do you clash with others? Perhaps your emotional needs don't match up with theirs. It's sneaky and can go unnoticed in all types of relationships. We'll be looking at that this week at the table. So pull up a seat and join us. First-time listeners can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or watch us live or later at youtube.com/lunchtime in Rome. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com, and while there, you can take our relational needs questionnaire. Make sure to follow us on all social media, and please do give us a 5-star review. Jay, what is this podcast about?
Being alone is the worst. Good times aren't as good, and bad times are worse when you're all alone. Romans 12:15 says to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. That is how you keep people from being alone, and what this podcast is all about. We demonstrate that in the first 15 or 20 minutes of the podcast, and we talk about it for the rest. So while it may not be 12:15 in Rome, we're treating it like it is lunchtime in Rome. Band is back together.
I was going to say, it's good to have all the boys back in the studio.
I'm just like all grins tonight because it is so good to see you guys.
The boys are back in town.
Yeah.
Boys are back in town.
I say we start with Chris because you've been out, you've been away.
Yeah. Oh, I've got some great update. I've got good news. I've got sad news. I've got
that's good.
all the things. I'm going to start with good news, though. Okra Coke was great. I don't think we've ever had such good weather. And that's weather is one of the big reasons that we in these past few years have insisted on going for 2 weeks. Because it's like,
right.
If you get into like a 3-day, rainy time.
Windy.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's like, okay. This
The
week's
week is
ruined.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, we only had 2 beach days or 2,
Okay.
I know.
Which is double your normal amount.
Listen, you'd be impressed. We were very active. But anyway, that being said, 2 weeks, and there was really only one day that was mostly rainy. So we really lucked out weather-wise. And the first week, when you guys were gone as well, low humidity. Did you guys enjoy that? Like
for the first part of the week, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second week was much more humid, but we had a great time. We did a lot more beach.
Go ahead.
Yeah, right? I mean, and
2
just
days.
Yeah, we doubled it. No.
In the daytime, though.
We did daytime beach, we did evening beach, we did several. So we rented kayaks for our first week there. And we love hanging out at the Sound. So
What is the Sound?
the Sound is like the inner shore that
Like a
doesn't
bay?
have like all the waves.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, right? And
Now,
it's,
wait, do you get there from the bay?
okay, so here's the thing. Is like there are paths. You guys might remember this from you were down there.
Like the canals.
You go not the canals, but like there's a path. Do you remember Springer's Point?
I remember
it's like
hearing that term.
Blackbeard's hideout. And
It's over on the other side of the village.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
would like walk back trails, and then you come out, and it's like this nice little sandy beach on the Sound. But it's just the Sound, so it's not. There aren't really waves. There might be like tiny little waves, but basically no
It's kind of
waves.
where we watched fireworks, wasn't it?
No.
Not at Springer's Point, but that was also the whole village.
Oh,
borders
I know
the
where Springer.
Sound.
I remember because the
Yeah.
day that
By
Amy
the
wasn't.
lighthouse.
Yes, back
Yeah.
behind the lighthouse.
I remember
Yeah.
when Amy wasn't feeling well. I like rode my bike all over the place. Yeah.
Brian's like, can I come back in 10 minutes or so?
Oh, I'm already checked out.
So it's become a popular place in like, especially like a windy day on the beach. You go to the Sound side, it's not nearly as windy, but it's a pain in the butt because the only way to get back there is to walk trails. And if you want to take an umbrella or chairs or
Kayaks.
anything, well, yeah, that's the next part of my story. So we've been searching for, well, what's the best way to, like, if we want to be there for a few hours, we want more than just like a towel with us, but hiking back those trails is a pain in the butt. So we decided we were going to try kayaks, and that worked really well. So we rented kayaks, and yeah, you had to take them like out of the harbor and around the corner of the island and over to Springer's Point. And we did it like 3 times.
Everybody have their own kayak, or did you like?
We actually doubled up. Yeah. The
So
kids,
you rented them for the week.
yeah, the kids rode together, and Amy and I rode together, and we had great time with that.
What a good brother Ben is.
Oh my gosh, he's so good. And then you guys saw the picture. We did something we've never done. The last Friday we were there. Well, just this last Friday.
Yeah, you did.
We
Ben-
rented a boat.
If Ben was a lifeguard, he would be
Buoyant Ben.
Baywatch Ben.
Baywatch Ben.
Which,
I like
man,
it.
he looked
I
like
was
he was
going
something out
with-
of Baywatch.
Didn't he look
Baywatch
the
on
part? He looked
yeah.
like he was going to save somebody.
He did.
Boating Ben.
Oh, okay.
Ben,
Okay.
yeah.
He did, though. I mean, like,
Yeah.
if you look at that picture
Dude, he looks like he's in control.
and didn't know him,
Yeah.
you would think he actually owned the boat.
Right. Yeah.
He had made a lot of money early on in his career.
This is
and
why I
was
had-
actually confident.
I had to snap a picture of it because I turned around. I'm like, bro, you look good. Like, I've got to get a picture.
You
of
got to
this.
send this to your girlfriend right
Yes. He looked like casual and carefree, like his shades and his hair blown in the wind, and he had his polo shirt, you know, the button undone, so it's sort
Yeah.
of flapping in the breeze. He just
Yeah, he looked really comfortable behind the wheel too.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
He looked like he was on a mission.
He
you
looked like
know,
he just came
whatever.
back from like a Tony Robbins concert and it's like I could conquer the world now.
right after the picture's taken. He's like, Dad, please take the wheel. Please take the wheel.
I'm scared.
No, he kept asking to do it more. It was
Yeah.
really fun. He and I basically shared those duties, and it was
May I
a
ask?
lot of. Yeah.
How much?
It was
I mean, for the Davidsons, I mean,
for
money's
the
not an object.
for the day. It was about 300.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I don't feel like
No,
that's
we.
bad at
I
all.
mean,
The jet skis.
No.
Or,
oh, we paid $170 for a
oh, the
20-minute escape room.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. Right. So we went for a lesson.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you have to do some kind of training? I would imagine.
And he took a and I haven't one
it's
time.
a lot of trust.
That's a lot of trust.
Oh, I'm
Because
sure
boats
it's a-
are expensive.
These
You're
are cheap-
signing some things off.
These are
Sure,
cheaper
sure.
boats. Not that they're bad, but they're basically like, well, I guess a lot of boats are plexiglass, but it's basically like just a plexiglass shell.
Okay.
And with a nice motor on it. I forget, it's a Suzuki something that
Isn't
somebody
that, isn't that
else.
what that submarine was?
Too soon.
Yeah, just plexiglass.
Too soon.
yeah, just plexiglass. I can't believe it didn't work.
So, and like very minimal. It's not like you get on and it was all cushy and lots of. It was very bare bones.
Right.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
And we did.
So they're
I-
giving you license to go out in
Yes.
the middle of the ocean, and you had one lesson for like what, an hour maybe?
Yeah, even less. I'd say 20 to 30 minutes. And we weren't. I mean, we were on sound side. You weren't allowed to take it out into the ocean. So it was. But you are out in the water a long way. We even rode over to
Cuba.
a neighboring island where there is a ghost town now because it used to be occupied. You know, similar to Ocracoke, but not anymore.
That's
So
interesting.
we got
Like,
to
were you able to get out and dock? Or?
yeah,
Really?
That's where I ran into the dock. I told Brian heard this story last night, but I haven't driven a boat since a pontoon boat up on Canadota Lake, which is on Titusville, way
Never
up there,
heard of it.
and that was when I was like a teenager. So the boats drift. I don't know if you know this.
They do, and you don't need to come in with a lot of heat.
Right. There's some momentum,
Yeah.
not a lot of friction.
It'll coast.
You got to plan ahead
yeah.
before you want to stop.
And I thought I did.
and have reverse on lock.
yeah.
I thought I didn't have that either.
Oh, no.
I totally, as I realized, this is so terrible. As I realized I was coming in a little too fast, I hit the throttle
There
the
you
wrong
go.
way. I hit it the wrong way just for a split second, but it was like, oh, no, stop.
Oh, gosh.
So anyway, it wasn't a horrible crash, but we did run into the dock harder
That's
than
awesome.
it would have been.
That is awesome.
You know.
Did they have like little bumpers, or was it just
Like tires or anything?
No.
Wood on plexiglass, huh?
It wasn't that bad, thankfully. I asked the guy. There was a guy there, like an attendant who does like historical stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I was trying to wave you into this other part of the dock." I didn't see him at all. He's in this bright fluorescent green shirt, waving me in. I didn't see him at all. I was so
You're
laser
so busy
focused.
hitting the throttle.
Yes.
classic Chris?
So we had a great time. Anyway,
But that's a good story
that's
because it didn't
great.
cost you any extra, right? No damage.
right, no damage. No,
Yeah, I
it was
mean a
fine.
little bit of self-respect, but that makes
Uh-huh.
for yeah.
That's how I felt. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so
No wonder
embarrassed.
Ben wanted to drive so much. No, Dad, let me. It's cool, Dad.
I feel like a natural.
Lily's still crying.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great time. And then the sad news, of course, is our dog Zelda, as Jay puts in quotes, she was dog-like. No, she was our puggle. Her sister Willow died about a year ago,
Shocked us all.
last June. Yeah, but this one not so shocking. She's been an old lady for a long time, so we were prepared for it. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of when it happened, it was sudden, especially because we're out of town. We left her with my mom for a couple weeks, and she just like went downhill. My mom did an amazing job taking care of her. Really, really good. Babying her in her final days. But we had to come home. We came home Sunday night. Monday morning, I drove up to Titusville to pick up Zelda. Drove her straight to the vet.
Welcome home.
I know. Drove her straight to the vet, and they were like, "Yeah, it's time." So that was it.
And which of your Sorry.
I was going to say no more eye thing.
No more. I know.
They didn't let you keep
just in legend.
It's in a
Chris
jar.
is going to dip it in gold.
The irony is the eye thing didn't die.
Somehow it remains.
She was always. It was always going to be her hatchling. Like apparently, it was growing.
Oh
and-
man!
yeah.
For context, for the table, Zelda had a growth on her eye that just kept getting bigger and bigger.
It looked
And
like a
wasn't-
very large black teardrop.
Huge black teardrop
From a giant.
Yeah.
and
Right.
it wasn't cancerous or anything. It was
an eye thing.
we had it checked out, but it is what it.
My
It
question was,
yeah.
which of your family members, if any, was this saddest for? Because I mean, it was a disgusting dog, and I love dogs, but it was your disgusting dog.
Yeah, she's pretty gross. I think probably Amy.
Aw, see, I told you.
Yeah, but not sad. Like that's the thing is like
Right.
she felt the nostalgia of it, and I mean our kids grew up with these dogs.
Yeah.
and so she was searching through pictures to post and like posted
So
a
many
bunch.
pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
posted a bunch
with
of
the kids.
Yeah, right.
I said I think she was being more nostalgic about the kids, like looking at the pictures of Ben as a little boy
Sure,
when they got
sure.
Zelda.
Yeah.
exactly.
Kids okay with it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we all to some extent had come to terms with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she had a close call a couple months ago.
Yeah.
like I really thought that was going to be it, and then she rebounded. So we were kind of prepared
Yeah.
mentally.
That's a tough way to come back.
Yeah,
I mean,
weird transition.
even if you're prepared, blah,
Well,
blah, blah.
yeah.
And like even if you're not sad, whatever, it's a lot of doing. Like right when
Yeah.
you come back, like
right.
ugh.
Well, and the transition from vacation is always
Right. You have to go to the store.
right. Even that, like it's like,
Right.
oh my gosh, now we
To
got
drive to Titusville
back
and
to
go
real life.
put my
Yeah.
dog down.
And go to the store.
Speaking of cats,
Oh, right. So I can't go into too much of it. But the cats are fine.
okay.
We thought Joe Bell was gone for a couple days, but she reappeared, and she had this huge change. She's always been this super independent little cat that she decided, as we discussed a few episodes ago, she wanted to be an indoor outdoor cat, and so she took that upon herself to like make a hole in our screen so she could like get in and out. So when we got back, though, oh my goodness, she's suddenly the most affectionate cat. She's like, I didn't know this was even a
Because
thing.
She didn't see her two other sisters and brothers for
Two sisters, yeah.
weeks.
No, it wasn't 2 weeks. But the other cats did get locked in a bedroom the last couple days we were gone. No worse for wear. Like they're fine. But
So they were not in there the whole 2 weeks.
correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, it was just the last couple days. So there, I don't know.
So you opened the door and they went, "What the hell?"
Yes.
Where
Yes.
have you been?
And it was just Lily's room, so it already smelled bad, so it's fine.
Wow. Well, Chris, I'm so excited to have you back.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I will give a brief update, and it is a snapshot into the life that I lead with my lovely wife. Bella is in California with a friend, and Joe's never really home anyhow. So we've been doing our hardwood floors this week, hardwood floor in the living room. And we've never spent so much time together as we have been. I mean, we've spent every waking hour pretty much minus an elders and a trustees meeting together. And we said we feel like we're on an adventure because also like we're doing our living room. So our TV isn't functional in the living room. So we're going downstairs into our renovated basement that we're never in. So it
like
kind
a
of
little-
feels like we're on vacation.
Yeah.
But this combined project, and it has been a blast, and we have had so much fun, and we've been very productive. And last night, she was cleaning up or doing something, and so I went down in the basement, and I was eating my dinner and watching TV, and she comes down to sit with me, which is great. And because she could have stayed up in the bedroom and looked at her phone or whatever, and it was such a great husband-wife moment. And she says, "Hey, will you get up so I can plug my phone in?" Because she had to move the couch to plug her phone in to charge. And I said, "What is your phone at right now?" Because that's the thing we have. She likes to keep her phone charged.
Gotcha.
And she looks at me and she goes, "Are you really not going to get up?"
I really want to know how much it was charged.
75%.
And I said, "Hold on. You came downstairs to where I am eating my dinner, and you want me to move, and you're trying to make me feel guilty by saying I won't even get up for you." I said, "But the fact that you just asked me to get up during my dinner is completely lost on you. Answer the question. What is it charged to right now?" She's fine, and she gets an extension cord out and plugs it in.
So she didn't even say.
74.
Man, what on?
Oh my god.
But here's the point.
Man.
I'm not throwing Rachel under the bus. It seems that way. And to a degree I am.
Nah.
But when I said that to her, I said, "Wait a minute." And I explained everything. She was like, "Huh, that is a little selfish of me now, isn't
Yeah.
it?" And we both laughed and we both had a good time.
Yeah.
And then we watched another episode of Murderers in the Building.
Oh, is the new season out?
2?
No, but that's great that you're catching up on season 2.
Is it?
No.
Is it the Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Okay.
what. It takes a little time to get some traction.
Because I do like
Okay.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
No, it's
They're great together.
Oh,
And Selena
yeah, they're very
Gomez.
funny.
yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
pair him with Selena Gomez. It's classic. They
Well, they did a
It
like.
sounds weird, but it's really good.
I don't watch award shows, but I saw the clip of like them doing like a shtick at one of the awards, and it was genuinely funny.
Yeah.
It was and like playing on the old and the young, and
Right.
I would
Yeah.
say it was fine, and then it got really good, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's
Are you
different.
talking about season 1 was
Yeah,
sort of
season
started
1,
slow?
it started a little slow, and you're like, "What are we doing?" And
Yeah.
okay, I get it. You're quirky. Okay, fine.
right.
But no, it's real good.
What's not been real good is things that have been happening to me since I've been back from vacation, and I will very quickly rattle them off.
He's got them listed.
Starting with today, I did a really dumb thing.
Aw.
I went and got myself a car wash and
Seems-
pulled into the car wash and had forgot to roll up the window.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that they designed the car wash so that when you went in, it sprayed you because
You were still in it?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it
sort
was
of
like-
like
Which window? Which window?
my driver's window. Like as
Oh
soon as I
my
pulled
gosh.
it. Fortunately, I still had my swimsuit on.
Was this
so-
at Mod Wash in Monroeville?
No, it was out at Dr. Brent's.
Because I was gonna say like, there's an attendant there, and be like, "Bro, your window's still up." Like,
Yeah,
just-
no,
yeah.
I bought. It's one you pull up to, you buy the thing. You pick-
Yep.
I just completely forgot to close it.
Oh man.
Give me the internal monologue.
Just a little bit
as
of panic.
the water is crushing your face. Was it like, what's going on?
Oh
Were you
crap! I'm an
disoriented?
idiot. No, I knew right away. Oh crap! I'm an idiot. I better roll up my window. Haha, that was funny. The other thing after that is we had Chalupa in at the vets, and there's a good part of this. We had Chalupa in at the vets on Monday to get an ultrasound because she's been on heart medication. She's had some heart issues, or so we thought. So, anyways, we wanted to get an ultrasound to see if she could come off the meds finally, which that came back great. She can get off the meds. That's going to save us
Wow.
$140.
Oh, yeah, you were
That's
talking about that, or Lex was talking about it at the pool, like, because this whole testing takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it might save you a bit.
$140 a month for the meds, and it also is going to help her kidneys because the medicine was real tough on her kidneys. Plus, it's not like she normally gets up like 3 times a night. It's almost like a baby.
Wow.
So I hope she sleeps through the night. But she came back from the doctors on Monday, and since Monday evening up until this afternoon, just constant coughing and gagging and puking, like every 5 minutes.
What?
All night, we haven't really slept because she couldn't stop it.
Did she eat a chicken?
No, what happened was she pulls really hard on her leash. So we normally put like this. We call it it's a prong collar, and it helps to it'll give her a little bit of a jab to tell her, hey, don't do that. When I took her into the vets, and while she was at the vets on Monday, she didn't have that on. And when we got into the parking lot, she was pulling me really hard. So the vet thinks that she bruised her trachea. And
What?
yeah, and it was just like she couldn't breathe, but it seems to be subsided now.
So just time will heal it.
Time will heal it. Yeah, came back from vacation. My robot was broke. That goes in the pool, that cleans the pool, and the pool was green.
Oh my god.
Monday morning, I woke up with a completely flat tire. Had to go buy new tires on Monday morning, and
Did you get a good deal?
McCullough's great. 200,
See?
200 I think 258 for two new front tires, the best that they had in that that for that car.
Yeah.
And my parents got me these wheel covers. You guys will have to take a look at them. They're
Oh,
black.
yeah, I saw it, when I was over. Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah.
And I could not get the lug nuts off. The old ones that came with my Kia, they actually were screwed in with the lug nuts. I could not. I broke a tire iron trying to get these lug nuts off, and I tried each tire. And a couple came off on each tire, but there were just ones that were impossible.
Were they cross-threaded?
I don't know, but the guy at McCullough said that they were self-tightening. So, like, I don't know if they came back from Carvana screwed on real tight and then they tightened more. I couldn't get them off. So, anyways, that's another thing McCullough did. They did it completely for free. Put my new wheel hubs on. They look fantastic.
Oh, that's all. I didn't know
Nice.
that. That's awesome.
I didn't know they were going to do it either. I just
it's
asked
like
them.
black on
Yeah,
black.
it's like black on
it looks
gray
good.
on black. And then last week I went to cut. I was cutting the grass and I went to do the trimming. Pulled the trimmer cord. Just
There you go.
No.
but honestly, I'm good. Like all these things are just funny to me. Like it's just like all right. I mean, welcome back, and there's still so many good things to life.
Did you get a new trimmer?
No, I'm gonna take it to. There's a guy at the top, Stotler. He like tuned up my
Small
mower.
engine?
It was like $168 on my lawnmower to like tune it up and sharpen the blade, and there was he did a lot of stuff to it. So I'm just gonna take it up to him. I'm not gonna mess
I
with
got a
that.
bunch of them at the church you can borrow from the
The
course.
weed whackers.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have my other one.
3.
Yeah, I still have my other one at home, so I appreciate that. But this one came to me as a gift. I was at the bus stop with Abby one morning last spring, and this landscaping truck went by with a trailer, and the thing just fell off. And it's this really nice still, like a great brand. It just fell off right in front of me. And like Abby left and I sat there for like 15, 20 minutes, seeing if they'd come back. They never came back. I wasn't going to leave it there at the bus stop for somebody else to come take. So
What was the name of the landscaping company?
I don't know.
Attaboy.
No clue.
No idea.
So, but anyways, that's good. And the last thing, and I'll be quick. I made the sliders the other night.
Yeah.
And they were so good, man. It's such a really easy recipe to do. I made 24 of them, and we had leftovers last night of them. They were really good.
Always a good hit.
Yeah, it is.
I'll be quick.
By the way,
yeah.
funeral sandwiches.
Yeah, that's the new name for them. Funeral sandwiches.
Okay.
Not new.
Well,
That's what we were told.
right. New to us.
Yes.
Oh, and I got to give a shout out to Lex's broccoli salad at the.
It was
Bella's
good.
graduation party, by the way. Thank you for everyone who attended. Great event.
It was fun.
Great broccoli salad. First thing to go.
It was good. I'll be quick because I know we're
Lex's
at time.
broccoli salad.
Last week we talked about mutual giving, and we experienced a little bit of that over the weekend. Amy was on call, and Maggie had a birthday party to go to,
Oh, yeah.
and we say it's not a point system, but I'm getting some points on this one, But Amy felt so guilty because she told Maggie that she was going to take, her to the birthday party. And then Maggie in her head got it that like, oh, I'm not going now. It's like, no, Daddy's going to take you. We're going to go. It was in Greensburg, like 4.5 hours out of the day, because we were there for the long haul. And she had a blast. She was so fun.
Where was it?
Sea Base out in Greensburg.
so much
been
fun
there.
for parents. It's so much fun for
well,
parents.
and
to
like
go
I
to.
didn't really know anybody, and
And that's okay.
it's okay.
As long as you don't have to get to know somebody.
And that's true. Yeah, that's true. And Maggie was real cute, and she loved it. But it was, and Amy felt so bad, and she realized like it was. And I said I had to reassure her. I was like, "Hon, I am totally fine doing this. Like, this is what it's all about. Like, I'm supporting, what you need right now and all that. And trust me, I'm fine. You give me some me time a little later in the day, we're good. I just need a little recharge, by myself, and that's fine." But she found it was more of like mom guilt. Like,
She's got a lot of mom guilt.
well, and I'll say this. It's like when she was growing up, and they'd plan to go out somewhere, and then mom wouldn't want to go, and she felt like, oh, I'm doing that, and then she realized, like, then she was like, but I am on call. This came up. This is, we're making it work. She's still going. It's not like it's
your
plan
hurt's
B.
no logic.
Right. But and we were cool. So I mean, we were always cool, but she was cool with the situation. So
And you're at a place, if I may celebrate with you, where even though you're happy to do it, whatever else, and we don't keep score, but there are points, or there are no points, but we do keep score.
Right.
Like where you could have wallowed in that for a minute, but you're like, no, I got it. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you didn't feel like, here I go again.
right. Yeah, because I know I'll be able to recharge and do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Because
good.
she's got your back.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it's nice to not have those conflicts.
That's right.
Because sometimes in relationships, there are conflicts. And by that, I mean all the time there are conflicts. And more often than not, in any relationship, specifically a romantic or a husband-wife kind of a thing, but really in all relationships, you tend to have the same fight over and over and over again with just different details, different circumstances. And they're rooted, as we have talked about now for 206 episodes, in your emotional needs. And what we wanted to talk about tonight is the fact that some emotional needs, if you have a high amount of that need, and the other person in the relationship, and again, this is true of all relationships, has a differing need, sometimes they clash. And so we wanted to take a look tonight so that if you're listening, you're sitting here at the table with us, you identify, hopefully you've gone to the relational needs questionnaire, you found out what your top 3 emotional needs are, and you might have a little more heads up as to what emotional needs clash with yours. When I sit down with a couple in my pre-marriage teaching, I always give them the relational needs questionnaire, and then I look at their results and I point out to them any of these that tend to clash, to give them a heads up, and we work through that. So I thought, well, you shouldn't have to get married by me to have to get this. Let's just do this together.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe this doesn't become a two-parter. I mean, I'm not saying we can't bang it out, but like this is really fascinating stuff to me to see, like almost like a matrix of what works, what doesn't.
And like Jay said earlier, it gets a little heady, a little nerdy the more you get into it. But the cool thing is, the more you get into it, the more you're realizing about yourself and your partner, or
Yeah. So the emotional needs and the needs with which they clash. So if you have a high need for acceptance,
Let's define that.
Okay. So
need-
acceptance is like you need someone to accept your faults, and that is them showing that they care about you if they accept you for who you are.
Yeah, you really need to know that you are loved even though you've made mistakes.
loved even though you've made mistakes, and the needs with which they clash: respect, and these are in no particular order. Respect, security, attention, and comfort are the ones that we've put out there.
And with security, it's the fact that there's no stability. If you're always like, if you have a high need for security and your spouse is always coming to you, are we okay? Or is everything okay? Did I make you mad? Like, who am I in love with? Who am I? Or if you have an employee that's always, you have a high need for security as the boss, and your employee keeps coming to you saying, did I screw up?
So
Did
the
I screw
person
up?
that's coming to say, did I screw up? Is everything okay? That's the person with a need for acceptance.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. And the person with the need for security, why does that rub them the wrong way? You said
Because
no stability.
right. If I have a high need for security, I need to know that I can count on you. That you're going to be the same every day, that you're who you are. And if you're wishy-washy and always worried and always
see.
checking in, it's like, gosh. And again, these aren't necessarily catastrophic, but you'll find, oh, wait, that's why we always...
Yeah, they can really start to get under your
With
skin.
acceptance, and attention, it's if the person has a low need for attention. Why are you laughing?
No, that's it. Because I'm laughing at that scenario in my head, because someone with a high need of acceptance, if they are approaching their loved one and being like, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? And that person is immediately, because of their low need for attention, immediately feels put upon, like it's sucking the energy from them.
We'll play that out, though. So they don't want to have this conversation go any further.
Right.
So what do they respond?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Now, Eric, as somebody with a high need for acceptance,
Yeah.
what are you assuming at that point?
Nothing is fine. It's all bad. Like,
Everything's fine.
It's funny because It's funny that we say this because Amy and I both have a high need of acceptance and we both have a low need for attention.
God.
But our go-to is just to reassure ourselves. Like if Amy's like kind of like in a funk, right? Either something's going on at work or something, like she's annoyed with something here at the house or
Having
whatever.
nothing to do with you.
We literally will ask each other, or me, vice versa. We'll literally ask each other, "Are we okay?" Mm-hmm. And when she says yes, then I'm good.
Right.
Like then it's.
Then you can
I'm
handle
still,
whatever.
I'm still,
Yeah.
feeling for her, but I'm like, all right, we're good, so I can not feel anxious or
Yes. You get to lean in a little bit easier
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what's the boundary for somebody that does have a high need for acceptance? Because you do need to check in from time to time. Hey, how are we doing? You know what I mean? Like
Well, and that will happen. Like she'll say, like I'll say, "Are we good?" And she'll say, "Yes, but we really need a date night soon, or we really need to just sync and talk about."
so yes, but I'm not. We won't be as great unless we do something else.
Right.
And
We need to have a date night, or we just need to. We need to get together and do like maintenance, not on our relationship, but just like we need to talk about the week
And we
together.
Okay.
Like
but we
things
also
like
need
that.
to build more of us. Mm-hmm. Because each of us as individuals are being torn apart.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to build up the we. But to answer your question more technically, Brian, I would say that for somebody who has a high need for acceptance, and you said, how do I, what can I do to not bother the other
Right.
person?
I mean,
it's to trust that the other person is being open and honest and vulnerable. Because what happens is, and that person has to be. So they actually, because it can be a situation where the person with a high need for acceptance bothers the other person. And they come up, are we okay? I mean, yeah, we're fine. Or they go, no, listen, there's something that's wrong. And the person that has a high need for acceptance melts down. So now the other person has learned, don't tell them when something's wrong, because that's going to be a whole ordeal.
Right.
And I don't want to have this. So now they're conditioned to not believe you when you say everything's fine. So we've got to be open and honest. And the person who has a high need of acceptance, like Eric, it's sort of a miracle that she can say to you, yes, we're fine. And you go, okay, good.
Yeah.
Because old you would be like, we're not fine. I
Right.
definitely
There's
screwed
I'm
up.
sure there's something wrong.
Something else is going on.
Yeah.
I said this a couple episodes ago too, but like, let your yeses be yeses, your noes be
Right.
noes. Like we
Right.
live by that now. We didn't used to.
Yeah.
And I can see respect from somebody keeps coming to you. Are we good? We good? We good? We good? Don't you trust me enough,
Right.
to know that we are? And
Do you think I'm lying?
right? So I can get rid of the respect one real easy. What about comfort?
Yeah, I find that fascinating. Like that it's, if I may, correct me if I'm wrong, but if someone comes to you in need of acceptance and you respond with comfort, you are...
Well, no, you're responding with comfort. You have
sorry.
a high need for comfort.
Oh, right.
So you're prioritizing comfort. And so you automatically, like somebody comes to you and says, oh, did I screw up? And you're like, no. And you want to comfort them. And so you just end up thinking that it's their, sorry, let me go backwards. The person with comfort could approach the person with acceptance
Okay.
and says, oh, I really got hurt today. So the person with acceptance, the entire time is listening, thinking, how is this my fault?
Oh, right. Making it about them.
That's the way I wanted to put that.
Yeah.
So the person with comfort
That makes more sense.
needs comfort. And the acceptance person is making it about them, saying, well, I don't understand. How did I hurt you in this? No, you didn't.
Right.
Well, now you did, because the person with acceptance
Yeah.
has a guilty conscience. They're just assuming it's their fault.
Always.
So the person who needs comfort is not being comforted. So therefore it's going to clash. Like I can hear it right now. How many times do I have to tell you that it's not you? I just need to get this off my head. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. Right. Because now, Amy and I have over the years had that type of argument over and over again, and she's the comfort person and I'm the acceptance person in that scenario. And it's that exact response where she's like, no, I just need you to hear me. And I immediately am like, I'm terrible. I'm not even hearing her. Like, I keep making it about myself.
Yeah.
The next one is affection, and obviously the definition of affection is the need for
Affection.
to feel affection and
Physical,
yes.
verbal and physical expressions of love.
Right. Hugs, great words, whatever. Respect.
Blah, blah, blah. For what these weak people need. Go on.
Respect and attention. And I can see a low need for attention.
Yeah.
Or a low need
Yes,
for attention.
If you have a
Someone
low
who
need for
has-
attention.
yeah.
And
So yes, somebody that desperately wants affection and, come tell me how great I am and, surround me with your love. And if you have a low need for attention, it's probably not going to be something in your mind to do that.
And
Well,
Wait.
when we say low need, we're also talking about it could be so low that it's a negative need.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
one of your lowest.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point. Like, just think of the swarming person who wants hugs, kisses, whatever
yeah.
else.
Right.
And the person that doesn't want any attention. Well, okay. I don't want attention. I don't want to give attention. I don't want to I want to be left alone.
And it's funny, like, and it's not always true because, like, I don't like a lot of attention, but I like a good hug. You know?
I think it can be person dependent. Like, if you do have a high need for affection,
Well, and like, I don't have a high need of attention, but that doesn't mean I don't need any attention. You know
right.
what I mean?
Which means you fall in the middle.
Right.
And by the way, this is tendencies and patterns and characteristics. They're not absolutes.
yeah.
Going back to the respect class, I don't know if I fully understood that.
Respecting one's personal space.
Ah. Okay.
So imagine, if you will, every time I walk in the door and Rachel decides,
No, not you. I was thinking.
Brian, I appreciate your honesty, man.
That was great timing.
The one spouse walks in the door and the other person, I just want to hug. I just want to hug. And the person who walked in the door goes, can you just let me put my bags down? Can you just let me, give me my space? I'm just not here to be your, hug toy or whatever else.
Right.
Like,
You haven't even thought about what am I coming in the door with? Like, I feel very disrespected in this moment.
Interesting.
Eric's the anti-respect guy. It's like, wow, one would think that.
You guys have a problem.
Next one is appreciation. And things that clash with this are acceptance and belonging, which feels like the relationship is dependent on the appreciation.
Yeah.
So if I don't appreciate you, my fault. I didn't meet your need. The relationship is dependent upon the appreciation. I mean, if you have a high need of appreciation, that's really probably not going to clash much, except in those situations. I don't think. I mean, feel free to tell me wrong.
And by the way, appreciation is
Yes.
needing someone to tell you the things that you are doing are appreciated.
I was wondering if you could do it without using the word.
I couldn't, but it's specifically like the things that you're doing.
Expressing
Yeah.
value
Value.
in a deed or a
A
characteristic.
deed or there you go. There's things you do.
Yeah. So I didn't find much conflict, if you have a high need of appreciation. I mean, again,
It's just a thank you.
it can be attention. If you have a low need of attention, like, hey, did you see because I have a high need of appreciation. Rachel has zero need.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
But even that isn't a conflict. But if I'll tell her, hey, did you notice the grass? Stealing the need. So now whenever I cut the grass, she goes, oh, grass looks nice. Done. But she also
Well-
doesn't have a high need of acceptance or belonging.
Does she appreciate your cooking and things like that? I know, Brian, you're number one on the list of appreciating Jay's cooking.
Oh, does she appreciate it?
Yeah.
Yes. Is she overt about it? No.
Okay.
But she also doesn't value it that much. Like, I could feed her hot dogs every day. And she'd be like, ooh, hottie dogs. Literally what she said the last night of vacation, we had scallops and all of the best leftovers.
the
I come home
best.
with 2 pounds of scallops. And
Like
we had
eating like
3 hot
kings.
dogs left over from the first night. And she walks up and she goes, ooh, hottie dogs. Who are those for? I said, you may have one. Oh, goody.
Oh my god.
Her and Maggie had one.
She is a gem.
Yeah, but if the relationship is dependent upon you appreciating me, that can get old.
Got it. Yeah.
So next is attention to round out our emotional needs that start with A. Attention is very clearly we've called it the black sheep of the emotional needs family. It's you need people paying attention to you. I used it again in the definition. I can't not.
Yeah.
It's tough not to.
What was the word? Oh, we were on vacation. I said to presuppose. No, it wasn't presuppose. Presumptuous. And you're like, what does that mean? And I said,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, how do you define presumptuous without using the word? And I said, it's assuming before the fact.
There you go.
But then I made fun of myself because you'd be an idiot to assume after the fact. I assume the four of us are going to sit here tonight. Like, of course. But once again, attention is acceptance. If you have a low need of acceptance and somebody needs attention, actually, I mean high need of acceptance is what I mean by that.
Oh.
Well, if you have a high need of attention and you keep going to somebody, hey, did you pay attention to me?
Change that.
Did you pay attention to me? Pay attention to me. The person's going to be like, oh, shoot,
Right.
did I screw up? Did I not pay attention?
What am I doing wrong?
Right. And then again, respect. Respecting the personal. I mean,
It's amazing how many of these.
respect's up there.
Yep.
As I was working on that, I'm like, I'm not bagging on people with I need to respect, but you can be disrespected in so many different ways.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I've felt so disrespected over
Right,
my
like,
years, and
I
that's hard.
And I have a high need for respect. And if I see like an attention whore, like somebody that has an enormously high need for attention, I'm like, I'm over that. Like, don't you? So I go to, don't you have enough respect for yourself that you're comfortable and you don't need to do this and act like a 3-year-old in a, So
So you're a
Well,
temper tantrum or-
they're not getting it, so they're stealing it.
Sure.
right. But
and
So
they
have more
respect
have more
themselves.
self-respect.
Yeah, but you're also getting attention in certain situations in your life too.
So you're a respect pimp. They're an attention whore, but you're
Well,
trying to.
for a second there.
I'm saying you have a healthy attention that's getting.
He's talking about his need for respect.
I know, but we're talking about attention. And he's talking about attention.
But I'm talking about
whore.
it from
He has no respect.
from the perspective of somebody
Right.
with a high need for a high need for respect, looking at somebody that just is absurd with their need for attention, and what?
Just the fact that you put the value judgment on it. I have a very healthy high need for respect, but they're absurd.
They're
need for
so
attention.
dumb, and my need for high respect is valid.
But I miss the. How do I say this? I'm remorseful for the fact that, Brian, you said I have a high need of respect, and I wanted you so bad to be like, no. I have a high need for respect. No, my respect.
No, mine's even more. Belonging, high need for belonging,
Which is
feeling like you are part of the group.
part of the group, that your relationship with another is valued and matters.
Correct, and that's Eric's very high on this one for sure.
Yep.
So how does respect clash with the need for belonging? Because it's on there.
The same way it does with affection. The person has a high need of belonging. Hey, we're good, right? We're good, right? Oh, we're good. Everything's good, right?
Why wouldn't we be good?
We're good, right? And so it's just the checking in. It's the invading their space.
And then security here too. You can count on them.
Can you count on them?
Can you count on them?
If the person's always checking, are we okay? Are we okay? Is everything all right?
Right.
Or I'm with you guys, right? I'm with you guys.
Again, that kind of goes back to what we were talking about with acceptance too. Like, yeah, come on. Like, you
Right.
don't trust
Did you-
me enough to.
That's even, to the respect.
Right.
It's funny, like we're talking about this, and then like you can kind of see like
security.
in childhood, like why, like certain kids were annoying in specific situations.
Oh, sure. It's a perfect illustration.
Or like I have a high need of belonging, and I was always bugging my brother and his older friend. Like I wanted to be like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Because I wanted to be part of the group.
We should go into middle school with a camera and do
This
commentary.
is the bad idea already. Bad idea.
Oh, I
Already.
know it is. I'm not saying we're not allowed to do it, but like,
I did once have to appear in court as a character witness for a kid who I had met once who was arrested for videotaping in a junior high.
Sure, we get permission. We just go in and, hey, we're with Lunchtime in Rome. Let's go in and let's record the
that was-
kids.
yeah.
I mean,
Let's record the kids.
We're press. It's okay.
no, let's watch them all be idiots in that environment because middle school to me is like one of the, it's one of
It's
the
the
worst
worst.
times.
Well, it'd
It's
be
the
like a
worst
National
time.
Geographic.
That's what I'm saying. And you could be like, oh, and look at this young lad. Watch him stalk this woman with his high need for attention.
You could also put in attention on this one. I did not, but we will add it. Because imagine the girl that just, let's do it this way. The guy who just got his first girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is so excited that he's got a girlfriend. And so he's posting pictures of her every day online. And he's saying, look at my girl. I got my girl. My girl's the best looking girl in the world. Now she has zero need for, no, she has negative need for attention.
Mm-hmm.
And her picture's being posted everywhere. How long is that relationship working out?
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I could see that taking away from a sense of security, especially
Again,
like
so it's low
online.
need of attention,
Yeah.
not high need.
right.
And I could see that taking like clashing with a need for security too. Like if you're
Oh,
posting,
she has a high need for security, low need for attention.
yeah, right. Like you're posting my pictures online.
Yeah.
I'm on social media. Stop. You're killing me.
Or high need of respect and a low need of
Throw it in
attention.
there too. Wait, I'm your girl.
Yeah, I'm my own.
This
Wait,
guy's
wait.
Oh,
Did you ask me to post those pictures?
Oh,
objectify me in this.
Dang, this is deep.
Listen to us, kids.
Middle school again. Here we go. Next is comfort. So if someone has a high need of comfort, whoa, we have to define it. Am I?
You have to define it.
Oh yeah, you picked it.
Oh, I said it. So comfort is. I'm trying not to use the word.
I still don't entirely understand it, so I'm so glad I didn't pick this one.
You
Need.
crave. No, more than crave. You need. It's an emotional need
Right.
of someone coming alongside you, and
What are they doing with your emotions?
they're meeting,
No.
joining you in your emotions
Yeah.
Great, Chris.
That's it, buddy.
with comfort. No, I did not.
No, that is comfort. That's not with comfort.
Yes.
That is comfort. To join somebody in their emotions so that they would not be alone. They would have a shared emotional experience with you, which would then attach comfort to the grief or the pain that they have experienced.
I think I almost got it.
For God's
take-
sake,
it'll-
we're 207
I was gonna say,
episodes
200
in.
more
It's
episodes.
gonna take 100 more, but I'm gonna get it.
So if someone has that high need of comfort and they're in a relationship with someone who has a very low or negative need for attention, clash.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, that one's kind of obvious. Like, honey, I want to, listen to me. Listen to me. Do you hear what happened today at work or at school? And I need you. And he's like, yeah. Okay. Can we move on? I don't want to, And then again, the acceptance, that goes back to, we listed it under acceptance. Somebody who has a high need for comfort and they're going up to somebody who has a high need of acceptance who takes it, we did it earlier.
Yeah.
That they feel like it's their fault.
It's the mirror.
It's the selfish emotional responding. They make it about them.
The next one is encouragement, and that is someone who needs good words and attaboys and you can do it. And
It's a verbal belief in someone to accomplish a task or get through an experience.
And this is like the classic, and I love that these two, encouragement versus support. It's like they're facing off on the page in front of me.
yeah,
'cause
this is
they're
the one that makes most sense
Yes.
out of all of them.
This is
Yeah.
like emotional needs
It's the
101.
simplest illustration.
yeah.
Why don't we flesh that out a little bit?
Right.
Seen it over and over.
So right, and can we use Rachel? as
Sure.
well? So Rachel has a need for encouragement,
She does.
and she has zero need for support.
Couldn't be less.
So if she's doing something, say lifting,
Staining the floor of your hardwood floors.
right, or lifting something heavy because she's a strong CrossFit person,
Oh, don't do that.
do not try to help her lift that. Just say, "You go, you can do this."
But if you say little lady, it helps.
Now that hits respect right there too. Does she have a need for?
That's actually interesting. I don't know where her level of respect is. No,
Just
it's
in
not very
that.
high.
Just
For
in
me, if
that.
somebody called me little lady, it would hit me in the
It's a
respect.
one, but it's only when people say "little lady."
Well, in the right context, Chris, I think you'd like that. But yeah, like with encouragement, yeah. Tell me, you're sanding these floors so great.
No, I did the sanding. She's doing the staining.
Okay, you're staining these floors so
She really
great.
is, too.
Whereas if the person comes with support, let me give me the brush. Let me show you how to do this,
man.
because you're doing a good job.
You're
but-
about to get punched in the face.
Right. I mean, but I hate that.
It's a
Yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
illustration because what we did is we did the first coat of stain last night and we just rolled it on. It was we can do shop time in Rome another time on the whole process.
Yeah.
Because we did it 25 years ago perfectly. I did it horrifically wrong 9 years ago because of a Home Depot guy.
I can't believe it's been 9 years.
Is he Maroon?
No.
Oh.
But there was a trick with how we stained it. We've developed a hack 25 years ago. We just stumbled into it where it just spreads right on and it was perfect. You cannot remember the hack. To save our lives, we couldn't. But we went with water-based instead of oil-based. It's a long story. And we rolled on the first coat last night. Just rolled it on with lint-free rollers, bing, bang, boom, which left a lot of splotches. It just soaks in differently, whatever else.
Right.
So her solution was to, with a 2-inch brush, which is exactly the width of one piece of wood, she went over it and she would put a little bit more where it was light and a little bit less where it was dark.
Wow.
Now, let me ask you this. Who would not be good at that?
Me.
Who that is married to her would not be good at that.
Jay.
So it took her 3 hours
My
to do
gosh.
2/3 of the living room today. And I would check in with her and I'd say, honey, said, I'm telling you, I could go ahead of you a little bit and you could fix what I do wrong in support. What are you doing? And then she looked at me and I went, I'm just offering. And I just turned and went back into the kitchen and knew my role. But
At least she had a lot of time there doing that to listen to podcasts, probably mostly Lunchtime in Rome,
Oh,
right?
she's all caught up.
ironically, she was listening to a
Really?
That's awesome.
Which one?
Dateline. It was about murder. Murders in the building. No. So she has a high need for support, but she has a high need for encouragement,
Yeah.
no need for support.
Yeah.
And the illustration we always use is Bella, who has a high need of support.
Yeah.
No need of encouragement. They clash all the time.
Honey, you can clean your room. It's
Take you
great.
5 minutes.
Go ahead, clean
Bang
your
it up.
room.
Nope.
No. Help me pick the first thing up and put it in the right place.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's funny because I have a high need of support.
Do
And
you? Not encouragement.
I could use some encouragement.
Right.
Like it's not.
It's normally more
you're
one than
great
the
on the
other.
podcast.
Thanks, buddy. But it's not like my support is more like I just need you to be there. Like it's not even. I don't even need like your help, but even just having somebody in the room with
Moral
me.
support.
Yeah, right. That kind of thing. Because like I can do a lot of things, but like I appreciate, and it's also like it's kind of also tied to belonging. You know, a little
I
bit.
was just going to say, I don't know that it's support.
Right.
You feel supported by them being with
Being
you,
in the room.
right.
but you value them being in the room more than the support. I think we're misusing support in this case. It's an interest. No, I'm not saying you're
Yeah,
wrong. I'm
yeah.
flushing it out.
But I do appreciate support.
You
and
feel
help.
supported by them being there because it gives you a sense of peace and a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Right. And you've used the example where Amy can just sit there. Like you guys aren't even talking. You're even doing something, but she's at least in the room with
And
you.
that's belonging.
That goes
Right.
to belonging.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Respect.
All of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's the need of feeling like you're valued and that you're seen. That's how I feel like it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wrong. No, just kidding.
Just acknowledging somebody else as a human being.
Yeah, just acknowledging
base
somebody
level.
else's
Yeah,
existence.
right. That's base level.
Do you
yeah.
have value for who you are and that you exist?
Right. Security.
Let's start there because
Yeah.
we could go for about 25 minutes on that.
Which at this point,
Yeah, I know.
yep.
With security, imagine that a person is always checking in, always making sure everything's okay. Go no further than I always use the example of when we were first married, Rachel would check in on me all the time. And I have a high need for respect. She has a high need for security. And I would just feel like, what, you think I'm lying to you? You think I'm not going to these meetings that I said I'm going to? And then finally the discovery was, wait, if I just check in with you and tell you I'm fine, you won't call me all the time? She's like, no, I won't, that'd be great. But think of something so simple as driving. I have a high need for respect. Rachel has a high need for security. Do you know how many times she will put her hand on the side of the door? She doesn't do foot brake.
Oh my
She
gosh,
braces
yes.
for the accident because
Yes.
her hand on the dashboard is going to save us all.
It's like the hand on the mattress. Like if you strap a mattress to the top of your car, you're going down the highway 50
It's
miles an
always
hour. I
funny.
got it.
Yeah.
That is an overestimation of a man's grip strength, is what that is. But she can say to me 1,000 times, honey, I'm not concerned about you. I'm worried about everybody else. To which my need for security goes, you don't think I know what everybody else is doing? I'm well aware of every car that is on the road right now. You don't need to point it out.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to the point where I don't even take it as a form of disrespect, except I still feel disrespected in
yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
So that is how that clashes.
Interesting.
I share that exact scenario with you. When I see Amy put her hand on the door or something, I'm like,
You don't think I'm in control?
yeah, you think what do you think is happening here?
I will tell you this, driving out to World Vision with Jan, oh my goodness. Like, she doesn't even care. She'll scream, she'll yell. She makes Rachel look passive.
It's so bad you're laughing like the whole time.
We had a moment on vacation. I'm in the back seat, Boothby's in the front seat, and Eric's driving. No, it was the day before.
Day before.
Yeah. Anyhow. And so Eric's got his like super duper Honda CRV cruise control that adjusts for stoplights even. I mean, it's no Tesla.
Nah, it's not self-driving.
But we're coming up to a red light, but because it's a Honda and not a Tesla, it doesn't know it's a red light. So it's still accelerating. And we're maybe 200 feet from the intersection where there's cars. And I don't want to be that guy, but we're still accelerating. And I just went, are we going to die? I didn't do any handbrakes because that doesn't help. I just wanted to ask a question. Are we going to die? We did not. With all due respect. Never mind.
My Mr. Paul Peachy, he has a brother, or had a brother who would get so furious in traffic when somebody would cut him off. So, like, you talk about a high need for respect and anger.
Well, that's where his hurts go.
He had hammers and nails and like just all these things in his glove box that he would throw at people's cars.
What?
When
Hammers?
Yes. Yes, like he would have random things that when somebody cut him off, he would like
Oh my
Chuck
gosh.
a hammer.
right, and he was into some other stuff. So
I would be
wouldn't wanna mess
remiss
with him.
if I didn't ask, how did he die?
Car accident.
Heart attack. He got cut off.
Oh, was it a car accident?
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
I was going to say, like, somebody shot him.
No, this is a brother I never knew.
They had a bigger hammer.
Thor came down.
Oh man.
Affection, depending on how it's displayed.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Okay. Acceptance,
Same thing.
belonging.
Absolutely already covered.
Awesome.
And finally, we've reached support. Support, as we just mentioned a minute ago, is the need for someone to
No, I'm just laughing at where we're going, not what you're saying.
the need for someone to come alongside, give you a hand. You feel better in a situation if you're not doing it alone.
Simply put, the difference between the two, encouragement is, I believe you can do this. Support is, let me help you do this.
It has the biggest paragraph out of all of them.
It does. Well, let's start with encouragement. So, how does support?
We already covered it.
Well, I know that we've reached the end of the alphabet. So these are like the mere images of what we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good reminder, like, somebody that's going to give a response of encouragement is not helpful at all to somebody that needs support.
I will read this just because I put it on here earlier today. Respect can feel like unwanted support is disrespectful by implying the person being disrespected can't do something on their own, can take it as critical.
No, and that's a good way to put it. Like, somebody who has a high need for support we very often give what we have or what we have a high need of. And so, somebody comes alongside you, here, Brian, let me help you do that. Well, you didn't ask for it. You don't have any, and so therefore you take that as a sign of disrespect where they're trying to be loving. They're trying to help.
Right.
And very often, I would say in most of these cases, people aren't trying to hurt you.
Right.
People are not waking up every day going, how can I grind the gears of my loved one? No, we're trying, and that'll go to our episodes on apologizing. The worst apology, one of the worst is, well, I didn't mean to. Well, yeah, you'd have to be a sociopath
right.
that you wanted to hurt me. It's a given that I love you and I trust you. I'm just trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
So they could be trying to support you, but in fact, they're actually disrespecting you.
But that's a really good way to kind of sum this episode up, is that, you get into these situations because they love you or at least like you, and like you said, they're just trying to help. They're trying to
love you.
They're trying, yeah, right, exactly. And they're trying to offer what they have. But oftentimes when they offer what they have, it's not what you are looking for.
And they give you what they want, not what you need.
Correct.
And it's why this is so important, why this frustrates, I think it certainly all of us, that more people don't understand the need for this.
Yeah.
Right, because we're somewhat decent at this, and we can navigate around this. Like, we go on vacation and stuff. We work through our things, and we still have the things that we need to work on.
I say it all the time. I mean, the problems that Rachel and I work through, and I go, wait a minute, I am the expert. I hang my hat on this. I used to say I'm no expert. I just know this. No, I'm an expert in emotional needs. And that if it's difficult at times for me, how does anybody else have a chance?
Right. And then there's the ones that are aware and trying, and then there's the ones that are completely unaware.
98% of the population.
Yeah.
And we have to do a better job of getting them to be more interested in deciphering and learning all of this.
I think we skipped over attention.
We did.
Okay.
That's why I shook my head no, because it doesn't really matter. But I'll add it in.
I have a high need of support, and I would like
Jay
to hear
saying
your,
attention doesn't matter. I'm going to write this
I have a
down.
high need of support, and I'd like to hear your take on it.
And I appreciate your attention to detail. If you have a high need of attention, it can clash with somebody who has a high need for support because you feel like it's taking from you. And, I need support. I need you to help me with this, but you want the attention on you. So it takes away from the support is all.
Gotcha. Cool. That was a great episode.
That was a great episode. And that's it.
And I guess we'll be doing part, because we have much more.
We have more to talk about. Yes, there will be.
Yeah, it's more the technical side of it, and there'll be some of it will be repetitive, but I don't know that any of us are experts enough to be like, no, we tested out of it.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
No, we need it again and in more detail. And maybe that'll be episode 208, because this is the end of episode 207. Please make sure, if you can, give us a like or follow on social media and visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, take our relational needs questionnaire. Thanks for joining us at the table for Lunchtime in Rome.
See you next week.
Adios.
Bye.